tell Cersei it was me.
Guess what we're watching today? We're watching more House of the Dragon, and for some reason we have Elena with us as well. So
why not?
Yeah,
Why not?
we love having you here and bringing back Game of Thrones because we did enjoy that series.
Yes,
That's
did.
how we first started the channel. Storm here.
Mom here.
Kimmy here.
We're excited to get into episode 2 of House of the
We
Dragon.
are.
Oh,
Shall we?
Yes,
Yes.
we shall.
Full reaction will be in the links below if you want to see our entire 1-hour reaction.
Yeah.
You need a drink now.
House of the Dragon, episode 2. Yay! Good intro. I love it.
Yeah.
It's more authentic now. Ooh, Fire and Blood. Ooh. The exact same. I love
Yeah,
it.
me too.
Great.
Oh,
my goodness.
nasty.
Oh, crabs. Oh, crab
Oh, God.
feeder. Oh.
Oh, I kind of knew we were going to see that sometime
Oh, they.
soon.
Literally.
He's alive.
Still alive.
Oh,
Oh my God! Are you
oh,
freaking
gee,
kidding
that
me? Literally.
oh boy.
Oh, the screaming. That's torturous.
Oh.
Ah.
I've sent envoys to Pentos and Volantis
Yeah,
to see if we might find
Atlantis.
common cause. Ships and men are at the ready.
I only meant that we should at least...
Perhaps there's some better use for the princess's talents.
Uh,
Of course.
Sir Kristen Cole,
Oh, that cutie one.
Yeah.
The one with
son of the
Damon.
steward of the Lord of Blackhaven.
I choose Sir Kristen Cole.
Let's not be too hasty, princess.
My father should be defended by a man who's known real combat.
Of course, princess.
But let us plan Sir Kristen's investiture then.
I only pore over the histories and provide the plans. The stonemasons built the structures.
What if you went to her?
There are times when I would rather face the Black Dread himself than my own daughter of 15.
She seems really uncomfortable. This is really emotional.
Mine own father does not know the language of girls either.
So she's doing what he asked her to do.
Yeah.
Try to have her talk to him.
As king, it is my obligation to avoid war until such time it is unavoidable.
None among us desire open war. The king's brother, so disinherited, has claimed the Targaryen seat on Dragonstone without challenge.
At the moment, the crown is perceived as being vulnerable.
And a blind incursion in the Stepstones is the only way to demonstrate that we are not.
Join our families. Wed our daughter, Lena. Unite the two great surviving Valyrian houses.
I must admit, I haven't given marriage much thought.
Yeah, it's...
It hasn't even been half a year since Emma passed.
Today at small council,
Pay it no mind.
I thought I might have had some insight.
You're young.
Oh.
You will learn.
Yeah, but listen to what she says.
Yeah, that's right.
Ooh.
Oh my goodness.
Treat his
gracious.
wound.
Oh.
Ooh. Just keep it there.
Bon appetit.
I held an audience earlier today to combine the strength of our houses and demonstrate my reign's strongest days are ahead, not behind.
The Lady Lena is young, Your Grace.
Indeed.
I do fear what Rhaenyra might think.
What does it matter, Your Grace? Her mother has passed. Her father must propagate the royal line.
You are the king, but I do not envy you.
It's a very hard decision.
Oh my god!
Oh, shit. Wait!
Huh?
What?
Oh my god!
Oh, whoa.
That's
That's
no.
unbelievable.
With Balerion died the last
yeah.
memory of Valyria of old.
She's so cute.
The workers of Spice Town report hearing her song at times.
They say it's a sad thing. I would give you many children of pure Valerian blood, so that we might strengthen the royal line and the realm.
She memorized her lines very
Is that
well.
what your father told you to say?
Mm-hmm.
It bothers you, does it not?
Lena is your daughter, Princess. Does it bother you?
Of course it does. His new wife will produce new heirs, and chances are better than not that one of those will be male. The men of the realm will expect him to be heir, not you.
It's true.
They denied you, Princess Rhaenys.
Yeah.
Queen who never was. But they bent the knee to me and called me heir to the throne.
Men would sooner put the realm to the torch than see a woman ascend the Iron Throne.
Does the small council have a particular lady in mind?
Oh, she fixed it.
Oh,
I
nice.
asked the stonemasons to mend it.
Very kind.
It is the pleasure of Daemon Targaryen, the Prince of Dragonstone and rightful heir to the Iron Throne, and is to have a dragon's egg placed in the babe's cradle, in the custom of House Targaryen.
My brother wishes to provoke me. To answer is to give him what he wants.
The realm is watching, Your Grace.
Scorio dromon Daemon Leitas.
Oh.
Assemble a detachment, Otto.
You're the most comely guarded court. Why do you destroy yourself?
Because of you.
Please look after the hand, Sir Kristen.
It's like the in Game of Thrones too.
Yes.
He walked all that way.
Right.
Leave Dragonstone by order of His Grace King Viserys.
Where is the king? I don't see him.
His Grace would never lower himself to entertain such a mummer's farce.
He bowed his head.
Perhaps my prince recalls when I knocked him off his horse.
Those traditions are for the true-born children of royalty, not for bastards fathered on a common whore.
You've come for the egg.
Come take
Come
it.
and get it,
There it
baby.
is.
You take it, Otto.
Even if it ends in the death of your unborn child and its mother.
Whoops. Oh boy.
Yep, even if it means that.
Oh, is it a flap?
Dragon. Here we go.
There's a song.
Oh boy.
Is there another one? There's another one that's gonna come up.
Come through.
Betcha.
Whoa! What is that?
Whoa! Whoa!
Ah! She came by.
Oh wow!
Oh, does Daddy know this?
Oh wow!
I love how they sing to each other.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Preventing bloodshed.
Sir Kristen, please escort the princess to safety.
No.
Take care not to startle Syrax, my lords. She's rather protective of me.
Onir nuhruho sutjailan.
Siculant.
Where's Hilari to?
One day.
That's right. Not yet.
If you wish to be restored as heir, you'll need to kill me. So do it.
Oh my god. It's like, I admire you.
Oh boy.
I hope. We gave the egg back.
Nice.
Oh wow.
Very well done.
Wow.
Safe and sound. She did what he couldn't.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Like to see the conversation with Dad now.
That I was with child. Your child.
Perhaps when we are wed, we can make that true.
Oh, I didn't.
These men might not put the prince's head on a spike, but what would they do with the commoner he claims he's taken to wife and maid with child?
No one will harm you.
I came to you to be liberated.
Liberated.
Fear.
What's the miss like?
She is 12.
She will mature.
The princess has returned from Dragonstone.
Dragonstone?
He's not gonna be happy.
And you acted without the crown's leave.
A feat I'm not sure Sir Otto could have accomplished alone.
I agree.
Yes, well. The Red Keeper's lost a warmth, and I dare say it will never recover.
It pleases me to hear you say this.
I could never replace your mother. I have decided to take a new wife. The Lady Addison Hightower.
Holy crap, I knew it! I knew he was gonna say that! Oh crap. Well, I think it's a bad idea. Oh crap.
Oh my God. It's almost like Damon. He wants to marry who he loves.
He's like, ha 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 ha.
Sit down.
Oh god, this poor girl.
Now she's like, these fingernails are going right off.
Yeah, it's way worse for her.
Yeah. That stinks because now he can have children quicker.
I mean,
At
there's
least he
a lot
had a
of
couple
problems
years
there.
before he'd have to bed her, the other one.
Yeah, and I know they're best friends, but I think there's more with them too, so.
David? Yeah.
Ah, yeah.
You've heard of the troubles in the Stepstones?
Yeah. Put it lightly. Oh my god. Oh, nails. They just hammer them in there. That's scary.
That's scary.
And there you have
Yeah.
it.
Oh, God.
Things are starting to turn.
Yeah, they are.
Oh man, that was good.
Yeah,
it was
that's
good.
right.
You know,
Yeah, it's good.
that was a big twist at the end.
Oh, it sure was.
Yeah. Honestly, I mean, I love the story so far, but I predicted that the series was going to want Allison because we saw the build
I
up
was
there.
really hoping that would be because of their close connection to each other.
right.
She's truly a very sweet person.
Yes, she is.
But she didn't want to go there for her father's reasons, but she does care about the king.
Yes, she does. Yeah, definitely.
In her own way. And yeah, and this is really bad because if they marry, it's going to be soon that she probably will get pregnant.
Yeah.
Whereas if he did marry the younger girl, I mean, she's 12, she wouldn't have to bed him for 2 years. Yeah. And he's very sick with, you know, his little wound in the back and now his finger. You don't know if he's going to, you know, survive. At least you'd have 2 years of if he's gonna live or not. You hate to think like that, but
yeah,
before he'd have an
time.
heir, so
that's right.
Rhaenyra can make, you know, she could be the queen still.
Yeah.
Presumably.
And going to the wound thing, yeah, I mean, with the bad wound he had in his back 6 months ago, I mean, that's probably still there. Who knows if that really healed?
Yes,
and now it's on his finger. So is it like spreading or is it just more wounds of him getting stabbed?
I think it was that last bit, the last episode when he cut
that was
himself,
6
when he
months
said
ago,
his-
so it's just covered. That's bad.
another one, yeah. So
That's another one.
So I don't think that's ever
was-
going to heal because that's way too
Exactly,
freaking long.
yeah, you're right.
that's
So if
right,
that's
for
6
sure.
months, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Now we're blind to this, of course, and we didn't read the books, but my view on Alicent is very different, where I think, as we know, she's uncomfortable. She's always digging at her nails. Yes. She's doing things in her role because she's supposed to.
Yes.
But I don't think, she doesn't like doing anything her father wants her to do.
Yeah,
and Otto, I see him, he wants power. And he's reminded me of, like, Tywin Lannister, where, he knows how to manipulate. And here, he keeps... telling the king something different, and it has to benefit him. He immediately wanted to go against Collis, and didn't like the fact that he was trying to marry off his daughter, which would strengthen the families, and and it's a different time, and that's how you get stronger bonds, that you make a better kingdom or stronger kingdom. And that would join the whole 7 kingdoms or whatever, or this whole area. But with Alicent, I think she cares for the series, but I like him. I think he's a kind guy, and he's trying to do the right thing, but in a way I do think he's too kind, and he's kind of weak, where I do think all these other points that we're hearing are true, where he's not about fighting or showing dominance or showing fear. Not that he should, but you have all these other, these free folk that, are very powerful, and they're terrifying, and you gotta show your power too. You gotta still have boundaries to a certain extent. Yeah, so going to Alicent, I feel like even though she cares for her king, it's not in that way. She's doing what she's told. And I think she's just very uncomfortable with the idea that he will favor her, because he is kind, and he knows that is his role, where he needs to remarry. So he needs to do that. And she's being so kind because she has to be, and she does care for him, but not in that kind of way. That's right, yeah. And I really think that Rhaenyra and Alicent are closer than friends. But maybe that's also unheard of here. I don't know. I'm thinking that they truly have a deeper connection than just friendship. I'm not sure.
I didn't see that. I just thought...
I don't know. That's totally my take on this.
To each other, but I don't know if there was a sexual thing with them. Yeah. But they're
still young, so maybe not yet. But I feel like that's
maybe it will be a thing. I think also you have to think of Rhaenyra as... closer to Daemon as well. Mm-hmm. He has, yes, he wants to take a second wife. He was going to fabricate this whole story that, she's with child. He's going to marry her. He's taking the dragon just to dig his brother.
Yeah.
Because, he left, calmly, but he was going to come back in some way. Yeah. That's always going to be a thing. And that was a perfect thing. I'm going to take, your son's dragon's egg, and I'm going to use it from, that's going to be with my child in its cradle. Yeah. And he was just digging. And for Otto just to say, I'm going to save the day, I'm going to go and, do it. It was honorable because, the king, we can't, put him in harm's way per se, and he is the hand, so I can see him bringing his hand there with his 20 best, knights, but he just couldn't do it. He couldn't deliver, and it was so great to see Daenerys come with it.
Yes.
Wouldn't you think that, of course he's going to have his freaking dragon with him, and here you're saying crap until the dragon shows up, and then come on, put your swords away.
It was pretty brave. They do butt heads because, I do think Otto does have the best interest of the king at hand to a point. Excuse me, and I think Daemon, he wants his place on the throne someday. So they are going to butt heads, but I just loved when Rhaenyra came up with her dragon.
Yeah, that was great.
That was just beautiful, and she just went in. And, it's sad because what she did is, she did something wonderful. However, it's overshadowed now because of her father saying that he's going to marry her best friend, and now that can threaten her possibly being the heir soon.
Yeah. Again, it is good that she showed up there. I agree, and I think that was great because I think there would have been bloodshed there because Otto. I think he does have certain things, like he does want the king to live, but I really think he's playing his own game too. I feel like he's going to be like some kind of power hungry character, because we're kind of seeing that now. But him just laying that all out there, insulting Damon, saying you're a whore, and then you're really going to risk her dying and your unborn child, and he keeps like throwing all these things out there, like he's baiting him for fighting. And I'm like, why would you do that right now when you're trying to just get the egg back?
Right,
and, I mean,
because you're really
that's just one
diminishing
tactic
him in
that
front
you
of
try.
everyone, the people that follow him, his guys that are following him.
And
Damon.
they're truly loyal, because he even
are.
defends them, and he's like, well, they're they were appointed to me and they're loyal to me, so they did nothing wrong. That was how the king did it in the first place. So he defends those who are loyal to him, and he really cares for his niece, and he respects her, like we saw in the first episode when he gave her that nice necklace. And he sees them as equals. And here, when she shows up, she wasn't supposed to be there, and then she's like, well, kill me, I'm the one standing in your way, and that's not what he wanted. He is taunting his brother because he thinks he is weak, and he's making these wrong decisions. Not saying that they're perfect, because Damon seems like a loose cannon too, but I truly think that he's not like a bad guy. Like, he's doing his own thing.
No,
and
he gave the egg back too.
He gave the egg back, and he respected his niece, and he was like, okay, yeah, here you go. It's like, you showed up and you showed that you're worthy. And
and she's calling him out. Kill me. You're going to be next. You're going to be next in line if you kill me. I'm the one who ruined your life. Kill me.
And he specifically took the egg that was her brother's, the baby that died. So that was also shouting to the king, like, look what I did.
That's right. Apparently you're not going to get married anytime soon, so I'm going to take this one and, use it for mine.
And here, like Damon, I know he cares a lot for his wife, or going to be wife, his mistress, but he does flaunt a lot, so I am a little worried for her, and I think she's very smart to say those concerns out loud, because all her life, that's so sad that she was in fear all the time, and she can't even remember, like, early on, like, where she was from, or like, that's really sad. So here, like, she is with him to be liberated, to not have fear, and that's huge. And I think, like, he does care about that, and he really did let that sink in, kind of thing. But I think he's also too, in a way, arrogant, where he thinks he's just, you're in Dragonstone, it's safe here, and, like, you won't get hurt, I won't allow it. But Game of Thrones, we learned a lot from that. You can't trust it.
That's right.
But I really do love the characters so far.
I do too. And going to the king's cousin and her husband, offering their child, and it sounded so fantastic.
It did, yes.
Like, except for the age. And to see him walking with this child and potentially trying to get to know her, it was just for us nowadays, it's like, oh my God, what are you doing? But I mean, that was completely normal, and it was a solid connection. It really would have made solidarity to the realm if it happened. Definitely. But
that was so awkward, but I am happy they did show that too, because I always heard, like, in Game of Thrones, like, a lot of the times the characters were a lot younger in the books than they were portrayed in the show, because of of ratings rules that they have on TV. I mean, it's amazing what we can watch on TV, but there's other things where they're like, they can't ever show that on TV, kind of thing. Of course, so don't even want to go there. But anyways, like, so they had to age up a few of the characters. Like, I think Daenerys was really young when she was married off, like, younger than she was portrayed in the show. So that's really awkward, So here, to see it in a more innocent way, of course, I think it was great that was exposed, like, that was in her face, like, holy crap, like, oh, well, she is young, and then we actually see that she's freaking 12. Like, I thought she was 9. I was like, oh my God, she's so freaking young, and that's crazy. And the series was also uncomfortable. He also thought that she was way too young, but it is the rule of the land. Like, that's what you have to do.
And he asked the council what their thoughts were, and they were like,
it's sound
to do it. And I do like, there is a similarity to the brothers, because Damon, he was going to marry, well, he says he was going to marry his mistress down the road. I truly believe he loves her, but the same respect, I truly believe the king loves Alicent. I think she didn't want that, but I think, you know, she was there at a vulnerable time in his life, and he just fell in love with her.
That's
So
right.
they do, you know, want to marry, or in the future, whatever,
Yeah.
someone that they truly love, whether it's good or bad, you know, whether it's a good, you know, decision or not, you know, they still want to marry someone that they truly love this time around.
And I do believe that Viserys does care, or maybe even love Alicent, but just to ask you guys, do you think Alicent cares for him back like that?
Not in
I
that
don't
way.
think so. I don't think so. I think she just wanted a friend. And they talked
I think
and
she
things like
had
that.
to be with him, but
Just
she
a father
was
for
like
a person.
consoling him like a daughter would to a dad
That's
or
right,
an
yeah.
uncle.
Mhm. Yeah.
I don't think, but she knew. I mean, that's why she's just so nervous. This is how she's, and he's realizing that. He knows. He knows that. Why do you harm yourself in such a way, or whatever he said.
Yeah.
But
And
yeah.
Otto was getting annoyed at that. He's like, "Why do you keep doing that?" You know,
Yeah,
and
right,
he's
yeah.
just not even concerned. He's just annoyed at it.
Yeah.
So you can see that he's just mean to her and just wants her to do
just
what
do what it
benefits
takes.
him.
That's right,
do what it
definitely.
takes for
Makes
power or
sense, yeah.
something. But yeah, so I know it's a bad decision, and Viserys and Alicent are really good people. You know, they do have their flaws. Or not Alicent. I haven't seen much with her besides being nervous. But like with Viserys, I know he's a weaker king, but he is a caring guy, and you can see. You can tell his thoughts by the way he acts, you know, and that he was uncomfortable with Colis's daughter and her being so young. All of it's hard, but I think he should have gone for
the 12-year-old.
Yeah, as weird as that sounds, but you know, I think he would have been nice enough. You know, maybe he would wait a few years, like 14. Let's make it 18. You know, I mean, if it's a long time, not to. But they want him to have heirs, so that's the thing too. So they would really pressure him to do it. So oh
yeah,
my God,
but you know,
awful.
You know, if her mother said you know you don't have to bed him until you're 14, I mean, you know,
he's going to do whatever he wants, and
physically things have to change with her. You know, she's have to start getting her periods. Those things, you know, that's nature. So
yeah,
you don't know when she'd have that. So if you really get technical, it could be.
I know,
So
it's
that
really
age.
scary, yeah. And and he seems like a nice guy, but like if he had anyone else, because this is always tradition, right? Like they might just force it, whatever, you know. But anywho,
well,
he didn't choose that.
Yeah, and like Damon said, you know, that's his downfall. You know, that's why he's not a good king, because he is a nice guy. And he has to make some hard choices, not as far as the marriage, but look what's happening with the shipping line.
I
You
know.
have this
Crab feeder.
The crab feeder. I mean, taking the Westeros soldiers and just feeding them to the crabs.
Ew. Well, they mentioned it last episode, and I'm like, oh
I know,
boy,
but to
we're going
actually
to hear
see
about
it.
this. Yeah, I was all choked up about it. Poor mom. But yeah, like
to just nail them up at, you know, like little crucifixes of
oh
swords.
God, and slowly just get eaten. It's just awful.
Man, and they're just so
Screaming.
sick they can't even. They're in agony. And
I knew it was going to be like a terrible way to die too, because they were mentioning it last episode. I'm like, okay, and then they mentioned it first thing this episode. I'm like, oh yeah, we're gonna. Well, we saw it right away actually too. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Just threw us right into it. I was like, ooh yeah, that was not fun. But I love seeing Dragonstone. I love seeing how beautiful that was. Where they were standing, you had the two dragons come up and they were hanging out there, and then you had the sun coming through. Like that was such a beautiful shot.
That was.
I thought that was awesome, and I'm glad there's no bloodshed.
Yeah,
and I
that was
think
good.
I want to see more of Daemon and Rhaenyra and their like interactions and goals and stuff later on, like their choices. Because Daemon, I'm liking him now that I'm starting to kind of see what he's like. Because even though and this episode title is called The Rogue Prince, so I'm assuming that's Daemon.
That's right,
Yeah.
I really think he does love his family, because he even mentioned that at one point, and he also defends his brother's name. Like he taunts him because he tries to challenge him, but you know, when at the end when he's like, don't say anything bad about my brother or whatever, he goes, watch what you say about the king.
Right.
So he still cares. He doesn't want him being insulted. It's his family, but it
I can
goes
do it,
beyond
you
that.
can't.
He cares for his brother. You know?
Basically, that's what he was saying.
Yeah. And Daemon was still cool, even though Otto was completely insulting him and his wife.
Yes.
You know,
Oh,
and
my God, yeah.
like full on, just like blatantly just saying crap to his face, and he didn't lose his cool at all.
He
That's
didn't,
good.
but I mean,
Yeah.
they drew the swords like immediately.
Well,
Yeah,
when Otto
I
started
have no-
threatening, saying like,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah," he goes,
I
"Well,
have
you're
no
gonna have your
problem.
wife killed with your unborn child," and then he did that.
Here's your answer.
You know, so he was, you know, poke the bear too much kind of thing.
Right, yeah.
But, you know, anyways, I'm glad that Rhaenyra showed up with her dragon. That was the only way to kind of
Oh,
solve that
yeah,
issue.
that was
really
great, and
awesome.
how
That
she
was
just
good.
walked right up to him.
Mm-hmm. So great episode, guys. Please let us know what you thought of this episode. I know there were a lot of things, a lot of mentions of lands and stuff again that, you know, we hear about Blackwater and we know all that, but I'm so excited. So if you guys want to just fill in the blanks for us and leave it in the comments below for next episode so we can read into that, that would be great. So love you guys. Check out our full reaction in the links below on our Patreon. You can see the entire full reaction, and we'll see you very soon as always. Bye. Guys.
Bye.